Hold on. All right, what's up? What's up? Lots of bears are going to watch this because of the title and be disappointed. Oh, the finger. Oh gosh. Man, what's up, Zach the Dread? The big homie Zach the Dread in the building. Any plans to build cordwood cabins on the property? Oh, hell no. Hell no. I need to crowdfund another property for that. How doing well, BG headed to do a pressure washing job. Yeah. I haven't done anything with the pressure washer this season. I just couldn't make nothing shake with it. People still buying wood though, and people still need dirt work, and people still need things tilled, certain patches and areas and stuff, so I want to do more pressure washing. I pressure wash my grill and my gator from time to time. I'm not really pressure washing is easy money. It's one of the many services I offer. Yeah, I offer that too. It's just no one biting on that. It doesn't help that I'm inexperienced as hell and I'm a novice and I don't really know what that. I can do basic stuff, but I'm not doing no one's house until I do one of my buddies' houses and experiment with that on their house. But like, I had 2 jobs like last year by this time, but nothing happening for me with that. It's just how them things go. You up one season, next year, same season, you're down. BG, do you pressure wash Uranus? No. Y'all misunderstand. Shout out to Uranus, but I'm not talking about Uranus. I'm talking about the Greek deity Uranus, from who they named the planet after. Like the planet Uranus is named after Uranus. Yeah, that's who this was for. Y'all know I don't do the planet thing. Excuse me. What do you use for fertilizer? My wife does all that. All I do is just take pictures with it. Like I did the shit. I don't know. Fucking leaf compost. What else she do? I made her weed whack the perimeter too. Y'all seen her out here over the weekend. She was getting shit done. And then I take credit for it. But yeah, just some leaf compost. We use some of our compost. And yeah, the shit just does what it does. Talking about Joe Biden after he fell again. Oh yeah, I heard about that on Facebook while looking for a trailer. Y'all retarded as hell. Y'all know Joe Biden old as hell. Some of y'all grandmas be falling. Y'all don't find that shit funny. But Joe Biden falling is funny. Y'all climb on in, climb on in. Climb on in. What's up, cake maker? It looks foggy over there. Look at this tomato. Look at, I can't do the Jim Bob jank. Look at this tomato. I thought I had a good voice for Owen, but I like Jim Bob's better. Look at this tomato. I don't even know how he does that. Hell yeah, look at everything my wife planted that I'm gonna take credit for. She planted everything except the watermelons. But yeah, everything that looks pretty over there, she planted, and I'm taking credit for it. So I did the shit. She also weed whacked the perimeter too. I watched her do it. Watermelon is a man melon. Yeah, I do my own watermelons. I didn't do none of the fancy stuff she did with her tomatoes and squash. When I planted it, I just put the watermelon seeds in the hole and covered them bitches up with that dusty ass, dry ass dirt that was already in there. That's why I said it's the 300 method to growing watermelons. And y'all see it done popped out. That shit done popped out. Y'all see my seedlings done popped out. Y'all see those watermelon starts straight out the ground. They popped out like Joe Biden's ankle when the corgi bit him. So anyway, Uranus. Uranus was the father of the Titans. So you got Gaia, that's Earth. So Gaia had Uranus, right? That was Gaia's son. So Uranus came out, and then Gaia married Uranus, or whatever the case may be, and then Uranus and Gaia, you know, they was clapping cheeks, they was fucking, whatever the case may be, and then, you know, he had kids. The shit sounds nasty because Uranus was Gaia's child and husband. And Uranus is the sky god, the personification of the sky. Some sources will tell you that Ether was the father of Uranus, but a lot of sources say that Uranus didn't have a father. It was just Gaia that gave birth to Uranus and then married him and started having kids with him. It was her husband's son. Ether was supposed to be the god of the upper heavens, some shit like that. So Uranus done had these kids with Gaia. Every night the sky would meet the earth, have sex, and have kids. So the kids, Uranus, he was like, yo, these kids ugly as fuck. And Gaia was like, what you talking about? He was like, look at them. Hecategories and Cyclopes, the Cyclops. He was like, these some butt ugly kids. They said the kids were so butt ugly that Uranus tried to stuff them back up in Gaia, and it hurt because he locked the ugly kids away in Tartarus, which is supposed to be Middle Earth. And all the cute kids, they were the Titans, and it was like 12 of them. So he was like, yeah, I'm gonna just lock these ugly ones back up in you. So boom, so Gaia, she was all in pain. So she wasn't feeling that shit. So she went to her other kids, the Titans, and was like, yo, I fashioned a sickle made from rare gemstones, adamantium, vibranium, and all other types of Marvel Cinematic Universe shit. She was like, yo, I need one of y'all to castrate your father, Uranus. So the only Titan willing to do it was the youngest Titan. His name was Kronos. So Kronos was like, all right, ma, I'll do it. What's up? So Kronos waited until it was time for Uranus to mate with Gaia again. And he ambushed his father and cut his testicles off with the sickle. Waka! He said, he was like, wait, he was in the bushes. And then when Uranus came, he was, Waka! So he cut his testicles off, and then he threw the severed testicles in the ocean. And the blood that dropped from the wound created a race of giants and some other weird shit. And then when the testicle hit the water, it was so fertile that the foam that came out the testicle, that's what they say Aphrodite emerged from. Even though later sources say that Aphrodite was daughter of Zeus. So all this shit happening. So when Kronos take the throne of his father, Uranus, and he becomes the supreme ruler of the universe, his mom was like, all right, time to uphold your end of the bargain and free your brothers. The Titans that your dad Uranus trapped in Tartarus. And Kronos was like, nope. So he reneged on the promise to his mom. He took his father's throne, and Kronos set himself up as the Titan of Titans. And he made his brothers and sisters bow before him. So when this happened, Uranus and Gaia, they were like, we're going to give you this prophecy. In the same way you overthrew your father, one of your kids are going to overthrow you. So Kronos, being the weird nigga he was like, man, shit, you bitches must not know about me. So when he was fucking his sister Rhea, like that was his, you know, his sister wife, whatever, you know, that was his sister wife. So he was having kids with Rhea, and he was just eating the kids. He was popping them. He was popping the baby gods like Skittles, just like boiled Skittles. So Rhea, The reason he was eating his kids was to keep his parents' prophecy from being fulfilled. So Rhea, she wasn't feeling that. She was on some Gaia shit. So all her kids were dying. So the only kid that made it out of that situation alive was, you guessed it, Zeus. So when Kronos had Zeus, somehow Rhea tricked Kronos, and I don't know what she did, but Zeus ended up getting away as a little baby, swaddled up, and Rhea carted him off down the mountain and took him to and he grew up there and came back and was a servant to his father, but his father didn't know that that was Zeus. He didn't know that was one of his kids that was still alive. So, you know, time came for Zeus to spring into action to avenge his, you know, his brothers and sisters, take the throne from his father Kronos. So he was disguised, and he ended up serving his father Kronos some wine laced with mustard. And when he did that, Kronos drank it, and he ended up spitting out the other kids. But by this time they were full grown, so he spit out full grown gods. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine upchucking gods. So then the gods, once they got out, you know, they followed Zeus back to Mount Olympus, where they made their battle plans, because they had to go to war with the Titans. So the Olympians, they were gods. The Titans were above the gods. You had the first generation Titans, and their parents were Uranus and Gaia. And you had the second generation Titans. Then you had the gods, Kronos's children. So the Olympians, the gods, they devised a plan, sent the female gods away. Some of the Titans were on their side though, like Oceanus and some other gods. So they sent some of their sisters out there with them out of harm's way. And Zeus and the other gods, they got battle ready. So then they pulled up on Kronos, you know, was popping. Started throwing gang signs, you know what niggas do. And then Hyperion, the other Titan, they got into it. Wah. So they getting into it, they rumbling. Yeah, they get the rumbling, you know the outcome, Zeus won. So Zeus ended up taking the throne of his father, thus completing the prophecy from Uranus and Gaia, telling Kronos that as he overthrew his father, one of your kids gonna overthrow you. So Zeus overthrew Kronos and took the throne, and then moved the seat to Mount Olympus, which is what the Olympics are named after. Humans used to do the same song and dance with the flame and everything. They called it the Olympics, where the humans would try to appease the gods. It was a big game. It was a festival. It's crazy how we still do it today, and the whole world partakes in the Olympics, you know, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, all the Titans, you had a couple Titans that sided with Zeus, but all the other Titans, they failed. Zeus murked them. He took them out. He killed them. It's just Atlas caught my attention, because Atlas, you know, you seen the map, the Atlas, the world Atlas. Atlas was the god of endurance and strength in astrology. Atlas was a second generation Titan. He sided with Kronos during the battle. So when Zeus won, he gave Atlas the punishment of having to hold up the earth on his back. That's why you see sometimes you see the globe model with the man and he hunched over with the world on his back. That's Atlas. That's a true story. That was his punishment. And he had to endure for all time just holding the world on his back. Some sources say that he's not holding the world, but he's just separating the heavens from the earth and holding the sky up. Basically, keeping away his father Uranus from his mother Gaia as a punishment. So Zeus was cold with it. And then Zeus' offspring over time, you know, they came, I think even Prometheus Nah, he was a Titan. Prometheus kids and Poseidon and them niggas, they would stop by Atlas and point at him and laugh and say nah 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 boo boo, and Hercules even went there and laughed at the nigga. Zeus's bastard son went there. Hercules, he was like nah 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 boo boo, and then the other nigga, he had Medusa's head, and then when Atlas looked at it, he turned into a mountain, a stone mountain. Well, he turned into stone and it became a mountain, the Atlas Mountain. But yeah, back in the day, like the navigators, they would like worship, like they worship Atlas, like he was the god of navigation, and whenever they made it somewhere safe, they would say a prayer to Atlas, like that was they real. And it's funny how our shit is named, the shit called the Atlas. But yeah, all the planets are named after gods. Even Uranus, that people here call Uranus. It's just, Uranus has an interesting story as the father of the Titans. And that's why I named this video Uranus. It's fun to say Uranus though. That's wrong as fuck. Before it was called Uranus, it was called, what was this shit called? The Georgian Star, named after King George III, the last king of America. But niggas didn't like that. They was like, I'm not calling that shit the Georgian Star. And that's when niggas was like, yo, Uranus. And niggas was like, yeah, that sounds a lot better. That shit had like 3 different names, but everybody just calls it Uranus now. And that's the story of Uranus and Atlas. I ain't even going to Atlas like that, but this shit crazy. There's one thing you can't take away from the ancient Greeks. They knew how to tell a story. Even though the whole Atlantis idea, it did come from Egypt, but you had Greek philosophers and playwrights. They kind of Grecianized it, you know. So everybody like, ooh, Atlantis. But they damn sure knew how to tell a story. But this was like the actual religion though. Like it's mythology to us, but it was them folk religion. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Joe Biden falling again, but everybody chopping it up about that. No one cares about race relations, but everyone chopping it up about that. Where does Kratos fall into the story? I forget that nigga mom name, but his brother was Nike, and they became the guardians of Zeus's throne. It was Nike, Kratos, and it was like 2 more. And Bud Light, even though they drink Bush. Yeah, niggas still talking about Bud Light, man. I'm talking about Uranus, because niggas on some nasty shit. I'm just giving you a different perspective on one of the funniest planets that they tell us is out there. That's all. I'm just telling you how they put the gods in the sky, literally. You know? Damn, Kratos was actually part of Greek mythology. Thought that was some video game stuff. Nah, Kratos was really, yeah. Funniest planet is Saturn. It's all gas. Yeah, Saturn is the Roman equivalent to Kronos. No, I think that would be Jupiter. No, that's Saturn. BG looked like an Egyptian tapestry salesman. Yeah, I ain't gonna do nothing but talk about who y'all voting for. What y'all want to talk about? I think Saturn was another name for Satan. No, not really. Not in the religious sense. Saturn was just another name for Kronos. Jupiter was just another name for Zeus. The Romans took the attributes of the Greek gods but changed the name. But a lot of people will tell you though, anything that's not any name that's not God's name that's being worshipped is Satan though. So in that sense, you could be like, yeah, Jupiter and Kronos and Saturn, just another name for Satan. Saturn, black cube. Uranus equals Kronos. No, I just went over this. Uranus was the father of the Titans. Uranus gave birth. Uranus didn't give birth. Uranus was the father of Kronos. They're not the same. You're right thing like this. Uranus was the big dog. The big dog. He was over Kronos. That's Kronos' father. Kronos overthrew Uranus. BG used to drive a Saturn. It's possible. Never again. You won't see me in a Saturn ever again, though. I got 2 questions. How's everyone? Planets aligning. What's up, Tyrone? Tyrone, aka all iron no ish, aka potatoes for the side dish. Yeah. What's up? What's cracking, Faith? Faith, you made that pie. That look good. My wife showed me the picture. I was like, who made that pie, Faith? I seen Jessica, she breakfast roll up. I said, man, y'all wild as hell. You just making extra pies for people and whatnot. Talking about our home planet. Yeah. All white people are from Uranus. That still stands. This doesn't change nothing. This just some the more you know type shit. What's up, Severe Duty? Yo, BG installed that Valvo Max drain bolt and it stopped the leak. Now just gotta use the tube adapter to drain. Warm the drain warm oil. Never had to loosen the drain bolt again. I would do that too if I wasn't so damn lazy. That would be nice though. I heard mixed reviews on those. Some people say they don't hold up. Some people swear by them. Speaking of which, I gotta do oil changes myself. BG, who was the daddy of Uranus? No one. Gaia produced him asexually. Even though some people gonna say that Ether was his father. The upper sky was his father. But yeah, Gaia just was like, I'm gonna have a kid today, and then I'm gonna have sex with the kid that I have. And then out come Uranus. And then she immediately started having sex with him and having kids. 12 of which were pretty. They were the Titans. The other, Hecatochuries and Cyclopes, the Cyclops, and the 100-headed nigga, the 50-head nigga with 1,000 arms, he was like, yo, put these niggas back up in you. He tried to shove them back up the pussy. He was like, hell no, I don't want these kids. He was like, these kids is butt ugly. I don't even know if I'm their father. So they were in prison. There's only one Tyrone. Yeah, right there. Tyrone is a strong, proud Irish name. That shit go back, way back. Back before the time of King Arthur back. So did they come out eventually? I think Zeus freed them niggas to help fight the Titans. Because they weren't fucking with their brothers, because their brothers locked them the fuck up. They were like, our daddy locked us up. What you supposed to do when you have retarded children? Put their ass in the basement. That's what Uranus did. And Gaia was, you know, on some female shit. Oh, they got a back locked up. He was like, yo, these niggas, why have you seen these niggas? Yo, have you seen Cyclopes in these niggas? That nigga got one eye. Hell no. Lock that nigga up. The other nigga got 50 heads and 1,000 arms. They a direct threat to our democracy. So he had them niggas locked up. And then when it came time for Kronos, he overthrew Uranus. And he lied to his mom, Gaia, because he didn't free her kids, the other Titans that were trapped. And he was like, fuck that. I'm doing what my dad did. Them niggas need to stay locked up. So that's when Gaia and Uranus, they was like, yeah, one of your kids gonna overthrow you. And that kid that overthrew Kronos was Zeus. And then once Zeus spiked the punch and Kronos threw up the other gods, they came out adults. They went to Mount Olympus. Then they freed the Titans to help them go to war. And then after that, after they won, the Titans just became a fucking problem. So it was all type shit. Like you had all types of little monsters and shit running the fuck around. That's why you see all these missions from Hercules and Zeus had some shitty kids with anything that walked. All these other niggas, it was just shit was a lot. And then Typhon basically killed Zeus. Because Zeus threw a thunderbolt at the nigga and the nigga just shrugged the shit off and smacked the shit out of him. And then the Poseidon and them, they ran. Yeah, Poseidon and them niggas, they ran. Prometheus, he was like, I don't got nothing to do with this. What's it like in the future? They gonna think I'm the person that not only designed the interstate, but that I put the Eiffel Tower where it is. I erected the Statue of Liberty where it is, and I'm solely responsible for Creole and Cajun people. They gonna think all these things of me and only me in the future when they see the size of my head. And they gonna call me Tutmos. African American built this nation. That shit don't even make sense, which is why it's not even gonna be around all the way in the fucking future. All that shit's gonna be a forgotten concept, including race. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. It's gonna be some new shit. It's just like how King Tut and Ramses I and Pharaoh Shabaka, you think they died knowing that people would be arguing about skin color and who did what and who put the fucking pyramids right there? All these dynasties just, nah, they couldn't even fathom that in their day. So in the future, it's gonna be some shit that you can't even come up with that they gonna argue about how you did things. They're gonna try to say it was this way. People on this side gonna try to say it was this way. But if you were alive, you'd be like, it wasn't none of that. Like all this whole concept y'all got is new. That's why I said it ain't gonna be black and white in the future. It's gonna be purple and green. And the purple people gonna try to claim me. And the green people gonna get upset and try to prove that I was really a purple person. And then they're gonna accuse the green people always, they want to greenwash history. And then a country called Egypt is going to want to sue them for portraying me as green when I was purple. Because purple people have been conquered and they just kind of moved the fuck in. And then mixed and blended and became something else entirely. This shit just all stupid and it's going to continue to be stupid. Indigenous, Aboriginal Americans. People are already forgetting about the Indians now. No one gives a fuck about the Indians, the Native American. They say white folk. You think in the future, when this shit flip, people ain't gonna remember white folk for being in America. They gonna be digging up bones and try to scrape shit off the forehead to be like, they were white. How did white people get here? There's gonna be something else going on over here. You history. Where you history from the time you born, you history. They ain't gonna know what the fuck to make of you just being here. This is gonna be a missing link somewhere. It's gonna be a dark age when Skynet attacks and all communications go down and systems have to reboot. And new generations are going to be born without knowledge of how previous generations did things. And then no one's going to know what the fuck was what. Shit going to start all over. And then people are going to try to piece together what happened before Skynet attacked. Who lived where? Who spoke what? It's going to be a new fucking language. They're going to be in the future like, what the fuck is a Teutonic language? What the fuck does Indo-European mean? These are the things they're like, yo, what the fuck is Indo-European? What is that? We don't know what that is. What the fuck is English? We don't know what that is. There's gonna be some new shit. I'm telling you, it's always some new shit. I got one more question. and they'll lie about it. Hell yeah. I mean, like Napoleon said, history ain't nothing but a bunch of lies that are agreed upon. If he even said that. Says shit is all lies. The tire only needs to be lifted a few inches off the ground regardless of the car lift. Shit, severe duty can change the brakes on a vehicle without removing the tire at all. I don't even know what you're talking about though. All the mail containers and yogurt cups by the bones will help decipher the white kings. We were kings. No, you guys weren't. I love primitive people. I'm glad that I don't like all the modernized. I'm glad there's primitive people around, if for no other reason than to just kind of study from the outside looking in, seeing how shit was. It's like the closest thing to a time machine. It's just a certain level of respect for people who just don't want to live like this. They want to live how their forefathers and ancestors lived, because that's what they're used to. And they're not pressured by the world putting standards on them that they don't put on themselves. You see what I'm saying? Because people will look at them and be like, they retarded. They don't have cars or railroads or none of that shit. And they just like, man, this how we live. This how we fucking live. It's like when you mature, you just kind of respect that shit. You just like, that's how Haile Selassie got the power. He was trying to modernize Ethiopia. Well, he didn't try, he did. So he had the support of the youngins that was coming up. Rastafari had the support of the youngins that was coming up. He had the support of the Orthodox Church, because the king, the emperor of Ethiopia, after the one dude died, he was a Muslim. And Ethiopia didn't play that shit. The Orthodox Church run Ethiopia. So after the empress got in there, had a falling out, whatever the case may be, the empress, she got the her husband got the beefing with Rastafari, and they got into it, and then she died. Like after he settled the shit with her husband, the empress ended up dying, and then they was just like, yo, we gonna crown you Haile Selassie. He got his name Haile Selassie. He was crowned emperor of Ethiopia. And he was working with them white folk, and they were putting railroads in. He was big on education. He was doing all these things, and yeah, he was doing all these things. It's just Mussolini, the Italian nigga, he Mussolini got in there, he was on some, nah, man, fuck all that. Ethiopia ain't just about to come up like that. Not after they beat the shit out of us like 50 years ago. Because in like the 1800s, the Italians went there and got their ass whooped. They just got, that shit was just an epic beatdown. I'm talking about these Ethiopian, and it's like over 80 different ethnic groups. Like, you look at them and be like, yo, same skin color. These niggas is different, son. You hear, I'm talking different languages, different cultures, different taste of music, food. They different as fuck, but you looking at it, you be like, yo, they look the same. They the same skin color. All them niggas came together and just stomped the Italians. And Italy got beat so bad, it was like, yeah, fuck that. We ain't even going back there. But Mussolini, since Italy already controlled Eritrea and Somaliland, And the only thing standing in their way was Abyssinia, Ethiopia. That's when they was like, yo, like these Ethiopian, like they in the fucking way. Like we got Mussolini was like, I bet, nigga, I'm trying to build a railroad connecting my colony in Eritrea to Somaliland. And Haile Selassie, he was like, no, nigga. He was like, he ain't coming through here. So that when Mussolini and them niggas, they got together, launched a full-scale invasion on Ethiopia. And then he reached out, the emperor reached out. But you already know the British, they were like, nigga, it's about to be World War II, and we don't want the Italians siding with Hitler. Which he did anyway. You know, fucking, you know, he got up in there, doing shit. But that's how they decided to help the nigga out. And boom, after he went, because he fled to the UK once the Italians just marched into the capital, and they just kind of took over for like a little bit. Then he got some support from the League of Nations and went back, beat their ass back, and then woo. But it's just been constant warfare ever since he got secured in his position, because it was like he was trying to modernize, but he was falling out of favor with the younger generation, because all these ethnic groups, and then famine struck Eritrea, and the Eritreans felt like Rastafari, Haile Selassie, wasn't doing shit. Like he just let like hundreds of thousands of his people die. They consider themselves his people, and so they weren't fucking with him. And at this time, you had a lot of whispers going on, like the militant arm, the Derg. They ended up, you know, taking power, and they put Haile Selassie on house arrest. Basically, the Derg was a communist. It was a communist group. They were militarized like fuck too. And then you had the Tigray People's Liberation Front. That's the shit. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the World Health Organizer director, he was a part of when he was younger. That's when people was calling him out. They was like, you was a part of this communist group, the Tigray People's Liberation Front. He was like, no, but yes. He got pictures with them niggas and everything. They're like, yo, this a whole communist. So yeah, and then they released in the paperwork a couple of days later. It was like, yeah, Haile Selassie or Rastafari has died under strange circumstances, and they got strangled to death by the commies. And then that shit didn't work out. Oh, what's up, Jessica? I got one more question. If you have one more question, make sure you read mine. Oh, yeah, one more question. Hold on, let me go back in time. Hold on. That breakfast burrito you made. Ethiopia, the only place they couldn't colonize, spiritual place of the line of Judah. That's why the Jamaicans worship them too, because they consider Ethiopia heaven and they consider Jamaica hell, because that's where the white man brought them to. So you had a lot of Jamaicans that were on some back to Africa shit, but they worship. It was idolatry, and Haile Selassie, Rastafari himself, he never encouraged the worship of him as the Messiah. It was Marcus Garvey from the grave that encouraged these niggas to worship Rastafari, because once he was crowned king, they was like, yo, that's the Messiah. He was crowned king of Ethiopia. They was like, this is the nigga that Marcus Garvey prophesied about. Marcus Garvey said there will be a king crowned in Africa. And so they was like, they felt like, yo, Ethiopia was never colonized. And it was like, shit, Rastafari, he must be the Messiah. So when Rastafari, he landed in Jamaica, his plane landed, they rolled out the red carpet. It was 100, it was like They say like 100,000 Rastafarians were at the airport. And this nigga Haile Selassie, he walked out and that shit was awkward as fuck. And he was just, and they had the red carpet rolled out. He didn't even walk on it. He walked over here. He was walking, he looked, waved, and then he went back in the plane. And his detail, it was like they asked for the head of the Rastafarian. He was a Rastafari elder. So he went in the plane with a Rastafarian. He came out, he told everybody to back up so that he could actually come out. So he met with everybody, not everybody, but everywhere he went in Jamaica, he had a Rastafarian elder with him. But he never said, don't worship me, I'm not the Messiah. Which I can understand, because when you're surrounded by that many people who are fanatic, they're fanatical about you, and they're saying this thing, it's like you here on a different type of time, and just to come out and be like, yo, don't do it. It puts not only you, but the government of that nation in a precarious position. So instead of just blatantly, don't worship me, what Rastafari did do was he sent the Orthodox priest to Jamaica to preach, to preach to the Rastafarians. That's why you don't see, there's not a lot of Rastafarians left. So they was preaching to the Rastafarians and converting them to the Orthodox Christian faith. That's what he did do. But he never encouraged Jamaicans to worship him. It was the Orthodox priest that went out, Oriental Orthodox, not Greek or not Eastern Orthodox, Oriental Orthodox. The priest dude who went out there, he converted Rastafarians to the Orthodox faith in mass too. Like, he was successful. And a lot of them ended up migrating over there to Ethiopia, to the land to Rastafari's own personal land that he owned. Yeah, they said, man, when his plane landed, it was so much smoke in the air, because them Rastafarian niggas, they was out there smoking and rolling the fuck up and blowing down. They said it wasn't nothing but haze covering the whole fucking area. That nigga Rastafari looked out the airplane window like, yo, these niggas wilding out. .420. Nah, I think that was April 21st. I think 420 is talking about some California kids in the 70s. When they would roll up, and it wasn't talking about the date, it was talking about the time. Like, it would be 420 every afternoon. These kids, they met up to smoke, and that shit just became pop. People can't even agree on where the 420 shit come from, but that's like one of the most accepted. It's like these Northern Californian kids, like they were potheads. Like they were in school, and at 420 every day they would roll, they would blow down. I don't know how this shit caught on though. Thank you for the wisdom you're sharing. I've always loved the Rasta way of life, but always argued that they shouldn't worship Selassie. Although he was of royal blood. Selassie wasn't of royal bloodline. He was just like every other nigga. Ain't no such thing as no royal bloodline. The reason why Haile Selassie, or Rastafari, his name was Tafari Makonnen or Makonnen. So he was born Tafari Makonnen. Ras just means dupe in the Amharic language, which is the language of Ethiopia. They speak like over 80 different languages because they got a lot of ethnic groups. But the state language is Amharic, and it's a Semitic language. It's Semitic. Tafari Makonnen, Rastafari Haile Selassie. Haile Selassie just means power of the Trinity. When he was crowned Emperor of Ethiopia, Rastafari became Haile Selassie, which means power of the Trinity or might of the Trinity. Rastafari himself was an Orthodox Christian, but he came from a dynasty of Solomonic rulers, meaning that they traced their lineage back from King Solomon and Queen Sheba. Basically, you read in the Book of Kings, you'll read about Solomon sitting down with Queen Sheba. Over there in Ethiopia, they have their own evidence and historical artifacts and written language and history on what happened that has went down throughout time, that Sheba came back pregnant. And from there started the royal line of Hebrew rulers in Ethiopia, of which Haile Selassie was the last of. So, making them Jews. So Haile Selassie was a Jew, because you are after the house of your father. They didn't claim Queen Sheba's side, they claimed King Solomon. So the Lion of Judah, before the Derg took out assassinated Haile Selassie, the Ethiopian flag, it had that traditional Rastafarian green, yellow, and red, and it had the Lion of Judah on it. Now it just got the pentagram on it. So the Rastafarians, they was getting a lot of their shit mixed up on the worship of Haile Selassie. A lot of them, they became Nazarites because they were getting bits and pieces from here. Nazarite come from the Book of Numbers, chapter 6, the oath. That's why a lot of them had dreadlocks. A lot of them started farming and living a more organic rural lifestyle and trying to move back to the roots that they had in Africa, which is why a lot of them live on the mountains, or a lot of them own land in places that a lot of people don't want to be in. They was smoking weed, but the media basically hyped that shit up, and everybody started, their niggas was smoking weed. They were really blowing down, but yeah, Haile Selassie, when he got back to Ethiopia, he sent his Orthodox priests to go out there on some missionary work that was successful as fuck. And a lot of them niggas, they're not Rastafarians no more. They're Orthodox Christians. Matter of fact, Bob Marley died an Orthodox Christian. A lot of them realized that the worship of Haile Selassie, Rastafari, and believing he was the Messiah was wrong, and they were in error. And they got baptized through the Orthodox rite. And so, yeah, that would happen right there. Babylon. Yeah, Babylon from the Bible. It's a lot of reggae songs about Babylon. Most I've ever learned in my life in under 15 minutes. Then Bob Marley's wife, Rita Marley, she wrote a book, because she wasn't a Rastafarian. Bob Marley was. But she converted to Rastafarianism after Haile Selassie visited Jamaica. And she said when he waved to the crowd, she could see the marks on his hand. Obviously, she was delusional. But nonetheless, she seen the nail marks on his hand from where he was nailed to the cross. And then from there, she became a believer and started crying and worshiped him as the Messiah come back in life like all the other Rastafarians. It was like all the Messiah that came back in real life as a man. They were crowned Emperor of Ethiopia, and you know, he did the fuck out one. She became a believer. But Bob Marley, yeah, he died Orthodox Christian. You got a lot of Muslim ethnic groups out there in Ethiopia that felt like they were oppressed under Haile Selassie because they were Muslim, which they were. But it was because they were Muslim, and that Ethiopian Orthodox Church doesn't play that shit. That's why they killed Bob Marley, I would suspect. Man, ain't nobody killed Bob Marley. Bob Marley. They killed Tupac too. I got one more question. Bob Marley had toe cancer and didn't want treatment. I don't think somebody killed Bob. I don't think that shit was nefarious at all. At all. He died. That's what happens. Some people get clapped. Him, and the man died. Yeah, he had that COVID toe. Yeah, he had COVID toe, Faith. What you think of Owen electric lawnmower? He likes it because when the battery dies, he's finished working. And he need to trim them bushes, I know that much. He need to trim them fucking bushes. My blueberry bush is doing great, by the way. That shit thriving like shit. So is my watermelon. I'm a nigga with a watermelon patch, man. I can't complain. People was making fun of me. They was like, that's so stereotypical. I was like, man, I can't even complain, man. I'm a nigga with a watermelon patch. It is what it is. I'm gonna have me some sugar babies, though. Later in the summer, I'm gonna have me some sugar babies. Y'all gonna be at y'all cookouts. Y'all gonna have to stop at the food line to pick up the watermelon. I'm gonna just pull them bitches from my backyard, from my patch. I got 30 plants in one patch and 15 plants in the other patch. I'm ready. That's a lot of watermelon. I'm gonna have to make that patch longer so that the vine can travel along the ground. I'm gonna have to do some extending. Owen has started grifting with the Saudis, trying to get their attention now. Yeah, people always think it's better on the other side, but it's not. BG, you gonna replace the watermelon patch with the pumpkin patch in the fall? No, I'm not doing no pumpkins. I might do pumpkins next year when I put another patch down. But I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put the patch. Because when I do it, it gotta make sense. I don't just want patches of patches and the shit just looking all crazy. I gotta like design it. I'm the architect. I have to draw some shit out. I don't want the whole backyard to be a garden. Chris Waters is jealous. Chris Waters ain't got nothing to be jealous about. His garden bigger than all our gardens put together. But I don't want a big garden. Like, I don't want my backyard looking like what Tyrone Strawberry has. You know what I'm saying? You got bluebird. I got bluebirds. You already know. What's up, O'Don? I gotta swap out my alternator on the wife's Outback. 11.87, 11.11 volts. Damn, 11 volts while the vehicle is running? You put a multimeter on that? If it's 11, if it's that low while the vehicle is running, then hell yeah. That shit dead in the water. That shit dead in the water. That shit gonna fuck up your battery. You leave it like that. Your battery gonna make. You ever go to start your car and you turn the key in it? You're like, man, hold on, man. What the fuck going on? You try to start that bit either, or you turn the key in that bit. The more you do it, the more epic it's. Like, damn. The alternator fuck with you. The alternator make you think your shit haunted. You be like, damn, my gauge cluster just went out while I was going 1,000 miles an hour. Like, how fast are we going? I don't know. My gauge cluster went out. I don't have a speedometer no more. Yeah, I'm winging it. And that's the police right there. I don't know how fast I'm going. Your shit, your electronics, they just work intermittently. That shit'll die on you. Your shit stall the fuck out at a red light. You be like, your shit cut off. You be like, your shit just cut off. You be like, hell yeah, what the fuck going on? You turn the key and start right back up again though. Your shit playing with your electronics. That's your alternator. I got 3 more questions. Having chickens feed them organic food, you get eggs and fertilizer mixed with the organic matter and beef up. That soil is sandy because it's dead. It's sandy? You're not talking to me. That's actually what you want for watermelons. Matter of fact, a lot of people go as far as to say, when you see some of these channels and they growing watermelon, that's what the fuck they do. You want the sandy soil. That provides great drainage. Yeah, I done learned a thing or two. What's up, little old man? The new brush is needed. That's how I know you old. Pig, bro, you old as hell. Don't nobody change brushes on alternators no more. They just get a whole new one. Y'all old, I can tell y'all old by how y'all repair shit. Like, need some new brushes. Nah, nigga, it need a whole new alternator. Ain't nobody opening this bitch up to replace the brushes. Yeah, fuck all that. We just getting a whole new Jimmy joint slap on there. Unless you just broke. Any cucumbers? It's possible. We might do cucumber. My wife decided to do it. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you. My wife did everything except the watermelon. I was okay with only having watermelons. She was the one that was like, yo, let's put the squash down. I was like, I don't want squash. She said the Thai chili peppers. I don't want Thai chili peppers. We got them though. She was like, the tomato, fuck them tomatoes. I didn't want tomatoes. I wanted straight watermelon. I was gonna let that whole patch just be a watermelon run. So she marched her bow-legged ass out here and got to work on that. Shout out to her. I'm gonna take credit for it though. I did everything. Why am I unclean? I thought it was just verbally. You unclean as hell. I planted my watermelon and cantaloupes this weekend. Likely they won't do well, but I will continue to try. That one dude in here, he gonna get on you about having that sandy soil. Leave that shit loose. This like my 3rd year doing watermelon. I've learned a thing or two. I'm not an expert by no means, but I'm learning. I'm learning like shit. Trial and error. Because sometimes I'm just too lazy to look shit up. Lil O working on those Peking duck legs. Peking duck. Peking duck. Peking duck. I got 5 more questions. Soil should be 1/3 clay, 1/3. I thought there go Chris Waters with the fractions. I told you they were. Man, listen to him. His garden bigger than all of our garden put together. He gonna come in with charts, graphs, and data. How are that, friends? People, I washed my legs real good today. Stop passing. I like how you put that hard R in there. That hard R. I knew you would have problems with fractions. Yeah, of course, I can't do math. Of course I have problems with fractions. BGW, if you're reading this, check out what Oyas are. You go, oh darn. I asked you a question already, BG, I'm on break. Trying to install a switch. Installing a switch in my Hustler for a water sprayer connected to the 12 volt. Should I get something quality or just waterproof? I would try to get something quality. Or waterproof, it depends. I don't know. I don't know. I asked you a question. Both are what? Look, man. Calm down with the both. Jim Bob was in here earlier, bothing like shit. He can't. He bought, you know, Jim Bob, one of his legs longer than the other leg. He marched his ass in talking about both. I was like, what's up, man? What is your question, Jessica? The big L in his both. Man, that's a hard L. The L hard as hell. Both. So both options will work. Good non-answer. Hell yeah, that was a great non-answer. I don't think you can get both out. They both work. They're both. Both. I got 6 more questions. I got some mulch coming too. I'm gonna put that down. Then I'm gonna scrape up this sod right here and get ready to put my watermelon run down. Will there be a race, war, and when does it start? BG is wood naked. I'll be alright. I got them big dumbass rounds right there that I need to break down. I'm gonna fill all that up. Sing far, sing fair, 21 questions. Fair. Fair, 21 questions. $20 years since Get Rich or Die Trying. Shout out to 50 Cent. What do you think Tech 9 favorite vegetable is? Fucking Tech 9. I've been waiting though. It's about time you Tech 9 people show up. It's been quarterly already. I'm not singing for BG Hill, Joan on me too. I already heard you sing. My wife was in the kitchen playing one of your songs. I walked in the door. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Plucking on the guitar in the back. I'm like, damn, who the fuck in there singing? She was like, it's 5 o'clock outside. I was like, hell yeah. My wife was excited when she heard you singing for the first time, Faith. She was excited like she knew you, and Simon Cowell had just told you you're going to Hollywood. Randy Jackson told her she's going to Hollywood. This is great. Hell yeah. Yeah, Faith can sing though. Have you seen Deadpool? Man, Deadpool play too much. I don't like him. I don't like the dude that play, what's his name? Ryan Gosling? Ryan Jones, what's his nigga name? I don't like him. He play the same person every fucking movie. He's chatty patty. All he gonna do, yeah, Ryan Reynolds. All he gonna do is just sit up there and mumble.
And okay, okay, I would like to talk to you. Okay, what am I doing? What would you think that was me doing? Why would I do that? I wouldn't do that. Okay, absolutely not. Okay, he's upset now. He's totally upset with me.
I don't like that nigga, man. He play the same. He has no range. Deadpool sucks. Deadpool, he's super Canadian. He just does the banter thing. Like, I hate that banter shit. Like, stop bantering. Like, Jonah Hill and them do that shit. I hate that shit. They'll banter. Like, Seth Rogen does that. He plays the same nigga every
Okay, I thought you would actually like it. I didn't know. You smoked this Pineapple Express weed.
Like, oh man, you fucking weirdo. Fucking goofies. I hate Deadpool. He play too fucking much. I don't like joke time. I don't like joke time. I want to see people get punched the fuck out. I don't want jokes. If it's jokes, it gotta be subtle. I don't like that shit. Ryan didn't ruin Green Lantern. The script did. He was done. He was the wrong person. I should have played the Green Lantern. He did too much bantering. They try and make that shit funny. That shit not funny. Beat somebody up. Stop trying to be fucking funny all the time and beat somebody's ass. Beat somebody up without telling a fucking joke, a weird ass joke, and bantering about it. I don't like Ryan Gosling. What did you do to celebrate Hemeyer yesterday, BG? Fuck is Hemeyer? Andre 3000. I woke up in Cairo looking at the stars so bright the sky. Thought they were marbles, no corridors. What you call those? A hole. Carla, I don't know. How the fuck did I even read that comment? What was that about? Yeah, Deadpool is annoying as fuck. It's like, die, be dead, do something other than banter. You don't like anybody? Man, I like everybody. I just don't like Ryan Gosling. I like everybody else. Deadpool in the comics matches his personality, and I don't like the comics neither. I don't like the comic on that nigga neither. But I really don't like Ryan Gosling. I don't like Deadpool, but I don't like Ryan Gosling first. I don't like Deadpool second. I don't like the comics third. The comics on Deadpool. I hate all three of them. They're trying to make superheroes entertaining instead of doing their job. I'm fucking sick of superheroes too. Have you noticed superheroes ain't nothing but SJWs? They're fucking social justice warriors. For real, that's why I vibe with Black Adam. When people was like, oh, Dwayne Johnson played Black Adam. You may have thought Dwayne Johnson did a decent job playing Black Adam. But Black Adam wasn't on some I'm trying to save the world shit. He was like, nah, these my people right here. My people need me right fucking here. And then the Justice Society of America tried to come in and tell people what to do. He was like, that's why he was beefing with Hawkeye and the Superman nigga and the other nigga. Cause he was like, man, y'all gonna march in here and try to tell us how to live, and y'all been way the fuck out there this whole time. Like, man, y'all in the fucking way. Getting involved in shit that don't had nothing to do with you. That's why when you watch Wakanda Forever, I felt like Cthulhu Khan and them, they pulled up on the Wakandans like, yo, what the fuck wrong with y'all? Like the nigga pulled up. This shit was funny. Cthulhu Khan pulled up on an orca. After I had just said in a live stream that I wish I could pull up to battle on an orca. That's a killer whale. So he pulled up on a killer whale. He looking at the Wakandans like, what the fuck wrong with y'all? Y'all done gave the United Nations all this shit, and then they want more, and now they coming and fucking with our territory at the bottom of the ocean looking for vibranium. And then the queen, you know, the Wakanda queen, she was like, ooh, 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 ooh. And Cthulhu Khan was like, look, y'all got X amount of days to turn the bitch over who built the device. If not, war. I was like, yes. Yes. So that when Shuri went and kidnapped the bitch, basically, brought her back to Wakanda to try to keep her safe, and ended up putting all the Wakandas in jeopardy because them fucking Cthulhu Khan people didn't play that shit. Them niggas pulled up on seahorse, sperm whale. Cthulhu Khan pulled up on an orca. The other nigga pulled up on a hermit crab and got shit cracking on Baku and them niggas. And I was like, hell yeah, he with the shit. Then he killed the queen. He killed Black Panther mom. And then Shuri was upset. She was like, I'm ready to become the Black Panther. She ended up becoming the golden jaguar nigga that Killmonger was. And everybody was like, yo, you good? She was all like, I'm good. It was like, yo, you seen your brother, right? She was like, yeah. Yeah, I definitely didn't see a villain. I didn't see the bad guy. If that's what you asking. The problem is people just name Ryan. I don't like Ryan Gosling. I just don't like him. Yeah, I don't like superheroes. For real, I've been finding myself rooting for the bad guy over the superhero. BG, has any movie brought a tear to your eye? I already talked about it. A Walk to Remember. I made a skit about that. That shit was in a skit. You never seen A Walk to Remember with Shane West and Mandy Moore? I don't cry tears. It be water come out woo woo. These tattoo tears. Them shit's internal as fuck. I don't cry. I don't cry. That shit crocodile tears. Real shit. People be like, you not even sad. I'm like, yeah, I'm crying on the inside. I don't cry. I didn't even cry when my dad died. I just don't cry. It's just not really in me. I'm just different. And people want to fix that. You have to let your emotions out, and you have to cry, and you have to want to cry. It's not enough to cry. You have to want to cry. You have to be okay with having your emotions on your sleeve like this bit here. When somebody say, how you doing today? You got to have your shit on your sleeve. It's a lot going on. There's a lot, and I feel like crying. I need a shoulder to lean on. Like, no, nigga, I don't cry. I don't cry. But a walk to remember had me going there. Being stoic is, I'm not stoic neither. I just don't cry. Some men, they just don't cry. Some people just, they not like that. And that's okay. People want people to think that people like that is something wrong with them. Like they're sociopaths or some shit like that. Like they'll try to diagnose you. Be like, how come you're not emotional right now? You just don't cry. There's other ways you express yourself. And that shit, sometimes that shit internal, you get that shit out. Not the internal shit that causes hemorrhoids and stomach ulcers. But you just deal with that shit mentally and you move on. I'm not talking about internalizing it and becoming a serial killer later. No, I'm just talking about you just go, you work out shit in your head, you go through it, and you don't have to cry about it. Green Mile was crying. Yeah, they killed, that was a big dude. He looked like he did that though. In no white folk defense, the nigga from Green Mile did look like he did that. He didn't even do that. But he looked like he did that. They would have fooled me. I'd have been like, it was him. Because he looked like he did that. That's how I be looking sometimes. People like, who did it? Him. It was like, I acknowledge that I look like I did that. They be like, what is that? I don't know. Whatever it was that happened, I probably look like I did that. That Green Mile nigga looked like he did that shit. You hate the Trinity? That's a loaded question. I just got finished talking about Selassie, which means power of the Trinity. Who the fuck are you? My grandfather just told me we don't do that. Man, we didn't used to do that. Niggas didn't even cry. Nigga, you're supposed to do it. Now, if you don't do it, there's something wrong with you now. It's different. Things like this always switch over. They flip-flop. You know, 1 minute, you have to cry. You have to wear your emotions on your sleeve. The next minute, men don't do that. Then the very next minute, men do this. Okay? And it's okay. Should just go back and forth. Good. Yeah. I heard the term emotionally detached too much in my life. They just try and give you a pill. Don't fall for it. Ain't nothing wrong with you. That shit doesn't even exist. There's no such thing as emotionally detached. That's just who you are. You not like the mother niggas. The mother niggas not like you. But when you not like them, they got a pill for you. It still amazes me to this day they got a pill for ADHD. When you think about how fucked up that is, they got a pill for this shit like it's a disease. You hear me? You like, yo, what the fuck is ADHD mean? They're like, well, excessive, hyperactive, compulsive. And you like, all right, what's wrong with that? Ain't what it is. I don't, but it, you know. You're like, all right, what's up with that? It was like, well, it's not normal. It was like, that's the nigga though, like he functions and shit. Like we got a pill for him. Like we got a pill that has shut down all motor functions. You would have thought this was Westworld. You get your kid, I was on that shit. You get your kid that shit shut down all motor functions. You don't feel like doing shit. That shit fuck with you neurologically. I'm like, how the fuck do y'all even quantify this shit to even come up with a pill for this shit? This some weird shit right here. This shit weird. A man, mom made cry, but his enemies shouldn't see that. That shit, I ain't about to go cry in a closet neither. That shit goofy as hell. Man's kid was diagnosed with ADHD, hardest working man. It ain't even, how do you even diagnose? It's not nothing to diagnose. That's up there with diagnosing a kid for thinking. He's thinking. Why would my child be thinking? We don't know, but we have a pill for it. It's like, oh man, that's what he does. That's what he do. He ain't retarded. That's what the nigga do. Like, he does a lot. Like, he built a trapper shack for no reason in the backyard. He's fucking 6 years old. That's just what he does. He's on some day laborer shit. You cry, then you stop, then you fight. Hell no. You skip those first two and jump straight to fight. BG, have you seen Dolomite Is My Name yet? That's a loaded question. Put the phone down and play outside with your kids. That's a loaded statement. My sister drugged her child from age 2 until adulthood. He tried to commit suicide at age 16. I can understand why he would try to commit suicide at 18, especially if he fucking with them pills. Some people that with depression, like they diagnose depression. Like, you get diagnosed with depression. This shit sound crazy to me, but it's a real thing. And it's absolutely normal. It's like, yo, went to the doctor, he told me he diagnosed me with depression. People, you know, they got a pill for that. You depressed, we got a fucking pill for you. What does pill do? It make you want to kill yourself. Literally, that's a side effect of the pill for depression. That shit say side effects, thoughts of killing oneself. But you need it because you're depressed. So you got to take that risk. You got to take that unnecessary ass risk because you're depressed. People be depressed like shit. Like, damn, go build a wood fort or something. We live on Earth. There's ample things for you to do. You can find something to do. People used to do things. You gotta go do something. Go outside, go do something. Go meet somebody. Especially internet kids. They grow up on the internet. Their parents always put them on the internet. They grow up, they have profiles and shit. Like, they do all these, you know, yeah, man, the internet could be a cold place, and sometimes you forget that that's not reality. You'll fuck around and change your whole temperament, persona, and spirit based on people who've never even met you, will never meet you, and don't give a fuck about you. Forget all about this and just focus in on this shit right here, man. Then you get depressed. Then you gonna wanna go kill your fucking self. Cause these folk right here, they talking shit about you. Like they know you. Yeah. Keep in mind, I'm not a professional, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Get the... Jessica, get your people. Your people flying the fuck around. Faith, your people, get your family. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Demons talk in your brain. Hell yeah. BG psychotherapy.
Yeah.
Some people need this shit. Some people are really fragile. And I'm not saying that to hurt anybody, but it's just some people, we're not all built the same. Some people are built, they're fragile as fuck. They're like a windshield. They're like a windshield on a car that's traveling 75 miles per hour with a triaxle in front of them going 80 miles per hour. That rock can come at any time and hit that windshield. Crack! Down goes Frazier. And just telling them to get over it ain't gonna do it. Shit, we just different today. My therapist is the predator. What's up, BG in chat? And what about Uranus? Because we're Americans. We just say Uranus. You'd be like, Uranus. You mean Uranus? I was just talking about how Uranus was the sky god. Wasn't a god yet. He's above the gods. Like in Greek mythology, Gaia had a son named Uranus. Uranus had sex with his mom, Gaia. They had a bunch of kids. Some of the kids were butt ugly. So Uranus was like, yo, these kids are not only a threat to our democracy, they're a threat to my throne, and they're butt ugly. He pointed encyclopedias, the Cyclops, personally, and was like, that one right there especially is an active dumpster fire. So Uranus tried to put the baby back up in Gaia. He put, and it hurt. The other ones, the Titans, he was like, these pretty kids, I can deal with these kids, but these ugly ones, you guys shut them back up in your pussy. So then he locked them away in Tartarus, which is the center of the earth. And then Gaia was like, yo, this shit hurt. So she went to her kids, you know, the Titans, and with a sickle that she fashioned, and was like, yo, I need one of y'all to take out, you know, your father, you know, cut his testicles off. And the only one that was willing to do it was Kronos. So Kronos was like, I'll do it, ma. Like, that shit nothing. So he waited until nightfall, looking up. Uranus came down to mate with Gaia. That's when Kronos jumped out with the sickle, cut his testicle off. The blood drops created a race of giants and some other weird shit. Then Kronos discarded his testicles in the ocean, and the foam from his testicles hitting the water. From that came forth Aphrodite. You know, the usual. Nothing weird at all about that. Then Kronos took power. He was on the throne. His mom, Gaia, was like, all right, time to free your brothers and sisters, the other Titans that are trapped in Tartarus. And Kronos was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So he reneged on his promise. You know, shit happens like that sometimes. He reneged like a game of spades. So that's when Uranus and Gaia, they made a prophecy. They said, just like you overthrew your father, one of your kids will overthrow you. So Kronos was like, ha, joke's on you. I'm going to eat all the kids I have with my sister wife, Rhea. That was his sister and his wife. And they had a lot of kids. So he was popping baby god kids like Skittles. Woo, woo, woo. Rhea got sick of this shit. Devised a plan to save one of the kids. One of the kids' name was Zeus. You know, so, you know, this shit happened with that. She ended up taking him to a family. They raised him. He came back, worked for his father as a servant. served his father Kronos wine that had like mustard in it that made him throw up, and he threw up adult children. They were adults. So all these Olympian guys, he threw them up. So Kronos was like, "What the fuck?" And they were like, "What the fuck?" And Zeus was like, "Come on, y'all, let's flee to Mount Olympus and devise a plan to fight these big dumbass Titan motherfuckers." So then Zeus may or may not have released the Cyclops and the Hercules, the nigga with 50 heads and 1,000 arms, may or may not, to help him fight the Titans, Hyperion and all them other niggas. You know, shit. At the end of the day, Zeus won, took the throne, became the god of the Olympians, you know, had the bastard kid, Hercules, you know, shit. The usual. Uranus had a tough life though. I got one more question. Oh darn, I saw the trailer. I don't know if I want to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer on my screen. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Okay, oh she did. Fake virtually, so I wasn't pretty until age 35. What? Your name Michael Terry? Is that a what? I wasn't pretty until 35. Some kids be butt ugly though, and they just grow up and just be on some Swan Lake shit, on some ugly duckling shit. Like, we all know butt ugly kids. A lot of people have butt ugly kids. Like, nobody says that though. They just look and be like, ah. In their mind, they're like, yo, this bitch kid is an active dumpster fire. Look at this nigga. We need to bring back eugenics. But what come out is, oh, it's adorable. It's an adorable baby. What is it? It's an adorable baby girl. People don't give a fuck. Your kid got 22 toes. You don't pull a Uranus and try to shove them back up in their mom, no. He try to put the babies back up in the... He be like, hell no, not these ugly babies. It used to be okay for people to tell people they had ugly kids, but it's become socially unacceptable to do that now. That's how it was back in the day. When somebody had an ugly kid, they hated themselves for it. And they treated the kid like shit. They be like, yo, you butt ugly. Your parents would tell you that every fucking day because your parents, they took pride in their lineage. Like how people do today. They're like, yo, now I'm going to have butt ugly grandkids. Like, I don't understand how anything beautiful could come from you. Like you're dumpster juice. And then, have ugly kids, and then next thing you know, they're known for, they got the ugly lineup. It's just not favorable at all. My mom is socially unacceptable. Well, your mom grew up in a day that her parents probably told her that. Like, none of y'all today just look at your kid like, yo, you socially unacceptable. They're proud of their one branch family tree. They gonna claim the good looking kids. That's the kids in the family photo. The other ones, they gonna be in the basement. They be like, look at my family. Look at my beautiful family. They be like, I thought you had 6 kids. They be like, no. Yeah, you do. I only see 3 kids in this photo. Where them other kids at? They in the basement. Well, these are the only ones I'm claiming. Parents back in the day, they'll cut you off. Parents in the 20s and 30s and 40s, they had a strong cutoff game. They'll cut you off from birth. They'll cut you off if they didn't like your mom. If your parents had a kid and the kid had a daughter too early, they'll cut her off. They'll cut you. They won't even claim you. You won't be in the will. You'll be sent. You'll be sent to Canada. They not claiming you. They be like, yo, don't you got 2 kids? We don't talk about the other one. I got 1 kid. Next question. They be like, oh, my bad. Parents today, the opposite. They claim all they fuck ups. Y'all seen parents today. Y'all seen Jason Voorhees' mom claim him. I said, ain't no fucking way I'm claiming that nigga. The nigga that massacred teenagers at Camp Crystal Lake. You seen her in the Freddy vs. Jason movie holding his head and, how's my special boy? You'll always be my special boy. You are my sunshine. My only sunshine. Downfall of society when it became socially unacceptable to call babies and children ugly. Yeah, Jason Voorhees' mom, she... You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. You be like, you don't care that he just killed 33 teenagers? The Jeffrey Dahmer mom claimed him. That's my boy. He didn't do nothing wrong. They'd be like, ma'am, we have dick parts found in his refrigerator. Well, did you blame the guys that the dicks belong to? Why would the dicks be in the refrigerator? That's not his fault. He's my special boy. Mass murderers always. He was a good boy. Mama said on the TV interview. That's what Leatherface mom said about him when they found the tapes of Leatherface. That shit was a true story. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He was a good boy. He was just a little big for his age. I was like, man, he was wearing other people's faces. Well, why would people shouldn't have lost their face? I think he was just running errands for me. This nigga Leatherface was a real aggressive Texan. He had inbred retard strength. This nigga will kill you, cut the skin from your face, and wear it on his face. And walk around like he you. And then act like that shit normal. This nigga would go to the post office with a whole nother person's face on. Let me get 20 stamps, please. They'd be like, nigga, you know we see that shit, right? This nigga pumping gas like he don't got another nigga face on. None of that happened to Texas. It happened to Texas. Where it happened at? Arkansas? Let me guess, Nevada? Nah, that shit happened to Texas. That's something them Texas niggas would do. That's some Texas shit to do right there. No, that ain't happening. No, that's Texas. That shit happened in Texas. That is some Texas shit to do. No, it did not, BG. I need to look this up then. It wasn't California. All right, Jessica, she's standing up for Kyle. She was like, that shit didn't happen in California. It was loosely based on Edie Gain. What state did it happen in? What? Idaho. It happened in New York, upstate New York. That's some upstate New York shit to do right there. Idaho or New York, one of the two. That's some Idaho shit to do. Them loose leaf niggas out there. Edie Gain was in Wisconsin, so it's Wisconsin. Wisconsin? Okay, I learned something. I learned something today. Thanks a lot, Vader Jones. You just taught me something. I need to verify that later, but I like that it happened in Wisconsin and not Texas. I can officially say that the South is not as crazy as you northern niggas. You northern niggas are weird. That is some northern nigga shit to do right there. That's some, I'ma just blame, that's some Northern European shit to do right there. Well, who the other nigga, John Wayne Gacy? Who the Gacy nigga? That shit was up north too. And y'all already got Jeffrey Dahmer, he was up north. Yeah, y'all just not looking too good. Yeah, the clown dude. There was Chicago, up north. That's basically Canada. There are no famous serial killers in the South. The only time people bring up serial killers in the South, them niggas, they talk about the niggas that was burning crosses on people's front yard. Yeah, ain't nobody that can't point to one Southern anybody and just be like, the serial killer right there. They just got to make up shit about the South and call us a bunch of cousin fuckers. The people of the South, they fuck their cousins. Meanwhile, the DuPont family, right there in Delaware, some cousin fucking somebody. I tell you what. They had a whole time, you know, the DuPonts had a whole fucking time. They just were fucking their cousins. They preferred to marry their cousins. That's all they did in the North is fucking marry their cousins. That's it. Yeah, the North is filled with nothing but projection. They just try to put that shit on the South. Look, the South does it. They be like, who is that? Your wife? It's definitely not my cousin if that's what you're asking. What if your cousin's cute? That wasn't considered taboo back in the day. Like when the DuPonts and them was doing it. When you see the documentary on the DuPonts, not the truther side. The truther, you know, they gonna give you, yo, they made Teflon, son. Teflon kills everybody, son. Like, yo, the DuPonts, yo, they did that. They poisoned the earth. Yeah, the DuPonts did. I'm not talking about the truth. I'm talking about when you see the dot of who these niggas were. The DuPont, who was the first DuPont? He was a European. He came from France. France. During the time of the French Revolution and migrated to America where he was told it would be safe. That whole family got into gunpowder. They were making gunpowder. This is why the North was just a machine when it came to the Civil War. They called it the War of Northern Aggression because the North got shit cracking like a Southern white. And they had the DuPont was the machine behind it. Like they were mass producing gunpowder. Like the DuPont, and then they bought out smaller companies, they got bigger. You know, they just had a town, they just lived a month. They went to Delaware and just started, and they got shit cracking. The DuPont, that's an interesting little family. They married their cousins too. Because they really didn't trust outsiders. They got into it with the government too, because the government would be like, yo, make these weapons for us. They'd be like, all right. Then it was like they got so rich from World War I that the government was like, yo, y'all niggas making too much money. Like y'all niggas made more money from World War I than we did. And the DuPonts were like, I'm talking about the DuPonts, they're just up and decide to build a fucking palace. And one of the DuPont nigga, what his name? Jacques DuPont. He had like one of the most elaborate fucking gardens. Like y'all passed the fuck out. Y'all seen that shit. And this was in the 30s and 40s. He had some shit that people weren't even fucking doing back then. He had the indoor shit, he had the outdoor shit, and he married his cousin. People. Then the government that persecuted, they was like, yo, DuPonts, we need you again. The DuPonts were like, yo, y'all gave us shit the last time we helped y'all with the World War. They were like, I know, but World War II now. We need y'all to manufacture some shit. So they did, and then after the war, the government went back to, you know, like, the DuPonts, they made too much money, profiting from war. It was like, yo, we selling arms and shit. Of course we're making money. We've been making money from war since the Civil War. Yeah, man, this shit was crazy. The Mad Butcher was from Virginia. No, he wasn't. He was from New York. That was a New York nigga. Yeah, they made Teflon, nylon, all types of shit. People hate them for it. You go to Delaware, everything named after them niggas. Them niggas, they had some shit on money. That was the wealthiest family in America during the Gilded Age. That probably still is the wealthiest family in America right now. They definitely have more money than the Waltons. Just you don't hear about them no more. They don't like to be in the news. They never in the fucking news. Every time they in the news, the truthers come out and the government start pointing fingers at them. Nylon 66. Then you see the other documentary about the DuPont and the truthers going crazy. They had the one nigga with the deformed head. And you like, what the fuck this deformed retarded kid got to do with the DuPont? They like, because of what the DuPonts are doing and the chemicals they use, and look what it did to my son. I said, man, this shit propaganda. This shit propaganda make you look bad so you can hate the DuPonts. And propaganda is a two-way street. I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to be about the DuPonts. You telling us about this boy that looked like Jason Voorhees when he takes his mask off. We don't want to hear about him. We want to hear about DuPont. They be like, but did what DuPont did, and they got the music in the background. The child head looked like a melted M&M. I shit you not. And they showed you this nigga the whole documentary. The whole documentary. This nigga was up front. This nigga was right here. He was trying, like, all right, but what about the DuPont? I'm like, man, get this shit out of here, man. I like the DuPonts. Yeah, I fucking said it. They were wilding. People think they supposed to care about your kids. They don't give a fuck about their kids. You seen the one DuPont when they first came to this country. They had their kids working in the gunpowder mills. They lost like 10 kids in one day because the shit blew up. That shit rocked the ground in a 25-mile radius. They don't give a fuck about their kids. What make you think they give a fuck about your kids? They had their kids right in there working with the gunpowder along with them other niggas they brought in. They had their own town. What about the DC sniper? They were from they were the DC snipers right there in the name. They're from DC. But they came down from New York. Them ain't southern niggas. They from over the Mason-Dixon. They from Delaware. They not from the South. I'd go for a good truther doc. Is there one out there on the DuPonts? Shit, you don't got to look hard. They all over the fucking place. I'm really not in it. Like when I look at old, I'm not looking for truth or shit. Well, I'm just looking at how they made their money. Like before the poisoning and all, before poisoning the whole earth, which they get accused of, and before fucking all their cousins, and before all this shit, and like who was the first DuPont nigga? Like that's, I look at the root, not the symptom. That provides me with a better objective view on a ruling family. So I can analyze certain shit concerning history without the tainted view of a truther. Because truthers taint the fuck out of shit. People act like it's just the propaganda people doing the pro-DuPont. It's the people doing it. Hit pieces work two-way. Get the fuck off me. Chris Waters, get your family flying the fuck around here. Where Chris Waters at? Get your family. Yeah, that truther shit work two ways. They be fucking shit up. getting shit wrong just to promote a certain agenda and make you feel some type of way and shit. I hate when people try to manipulate my fucking emotions. Don't fucking play with my emotions. Don't have that dumbass music in the background and showing me a child with a head that looked like a melted Skittle. I don't want to see that shit. I want to hear about this fucking family. I don't want all that extra sauce. I want the raw shit boiled down and distilled. So I can look at this shit for what it is. I hate all that shit. But nonetheless, an interesting little family. Rothschild family financed every war since Napoleon. Shit, so that's what you're supposed to do. Shit, when you got it like that, that's what you're supposed to do. DuPont garage. Shout out to the DuPont. No, you just look at the raw shit, like the... I don't know how y'all understand this, because a lot of y'all truthers. You just look at the raw shit. You have a better like I don't want the pro-DuPont shit, and I don't want the pro-DuPont is evil and look at them and they killed the earth. I just want the raw shit. Who the fuck they are? Look at the first DuPont nigga and why he came out here. All of them. The Cornelius Vanderbilt, John Jacob Astor. What my Scott homie? He from Scott's. Andrew Carnegie. Like, look at these niggas. You know, like Rockefeller. Hey, look at their family. A lot of them were dirt broke, except for J.P. Morgan. He came from money. Like, these niggas were dirt broke, just immigrant ass niggas. You know? It's interesting. I feel like some people just want people to be bad by default. But if you were in a similar but if a lot of you niggas were in a similar situation, y'all be doing the same shit. Because when people come to this country, the families that y'all gotta chill. The families, people like, yo, they fucking over the country. They got like all the families people name, like the DuPont, Rockefeller, the Vanderbilts, the Astors, and all these individuals like Carnegie and all these people. It's like they came from nothing, then made something and passed it down to their kids. And their kids kind of just, and now you feel like that whole family is just fucking over your existence. But it's like you would do the same shit. Man, I know for a fact a lot of people would do the same shit that them folk did if they was in their shoes. Because the whole goal about getting money, according to some people, is to have something to lead to your kids. The only way you can lead this to your kids is if they understand the fucking business. We're in the business of doing this. This is how we get wealth. It just so happens a side effect is we fuck people over. That's the way of the world. People get fucked and suckers get licked. It's just they fuck you on an epic proportion, but it is what it is. They just gonna keep getting money. Like, it's not a lot of people that would just destroy their forefathers' legacy because they want to be on a moral high horse and just go broke. People can talk that shit, but they not really gonna do that shit. People barely want to turn down a fucking internet check for saying coronavirus because they scared about getting their channel stricken. You think niggas at the top really gonna be on some, oh, we can't do this because then it's hurting people and we don't want to hurt people no more, even though that's what my father did and his father before him. Nah, nigga, that's your culture. This the legacy. This the lineage. We top dogs. We fucking, what Bengal tiger do you know is gonna become prey because it feels bad about eating whatever it eats? What crocodile feels bad about eating a fucking gazelle that tries to cross the lake? Nah, ain't no fucking crocodile. I don't want to eat it because it's just trying to, and then we're banning it. Nah, nigga, it's eat. Shit, we gonna eat. Everybody eats, B. And by everybody, I mean not you. That is what it is. You just put some perspective on it. You a man of understanding? I'm a man of perspective like I am. I try to understand the families do the shit they do. You can understand the shit. A lot of them ended up working for the dollar, but they got bigger agendas going on that people don't even understand that that's what the fuck is going on. It's certain shit that been set in motion that they just can't back out of. If y'all really came from a tight-knit family, a lot of y'all wouldn't want to upset the apple cart and go against your father's legacy. So it's like, you know, you get raised up in that. You got apex predators. And then you got you niggas. Not you niggas, but you niggas, you know. Man, that's the way the world works. As some of y'all say, we're not all equal. And we will never all be equal. I don't give a fuck. You can institute communism right now. We're not all gonna be equal. Capitalism, it don't matter. Anarchy. We won't all be equal as anarchists. It doesn't fucking matter. That shit transcends political parties, political ideologies, religions. You know, it is what it is, man. Full. We work the kitchen in your pocket. Yeah, they work the kitchen. Jessica, she throw down in the kitchen. And Faith does too on the low. Not even on the low. On the high key shit. Lil old Maine, you know, she on the low in the kitchen, she be doing her thing. Yeah, I already got my cooks already ready. I'm ready for the zombie apocalypse. I'm ready for World War Z. I got one more question. I like the DuPont so. They gonna think I'm evil for saying it, but it's just you see the shit they went through, like. Then too, it's like that's another reason y'all just can't blame Jews for everything neither. Because the majority of these like these weren't Jewish people. These weren't Jews. These were white folk from Europe that were not Jews. They came over here and you accused them of fucking over your life. That's another thing about the whole stupid ass race shit. Like, you may have some white folk, they talk that shit like, yo, niggas are the problem. But when they get on their truth and shit, all the families they accuse of fucking them over, they just did white did they want to be. You know? That's why I don't look at that shit like that from that mentality. It's wrong, bro. You the one telling us to blame Jews in your skits. I didn't tell y'all to blame the Jews in my skits. You got that shit misunderstood. I told y'all what the Jews did. I ain't say blame them niggas. Blame them for what? I talked about the slave ships. The white folk had slave ships too. People bring up the East India, the companies that the Jewish people ran. Man, you had the Spaniards. You had everybody else doing this shit. You can't just be like it was the fucking Jews. I mean, per capita, for down south statistics, more Jewish households own slaves than white when you look at them as a group, side by side. I mean, of course, it was fewer of them, but they had a higher percentage of slave ownership. But y'all see how I am about that? This ain't a blame game. I'm not on a blame guy. I'm not on no blame game shit. If I get on some blame game shit, I gotta point the finger at myself. Yeah, I'm not on no blame game shit. Damn, this shit long as fuck. My bad, the Jews tried to take me down. But yeah, I'm not blaming nobody. The angry wreath. It was this a brand new selfie stick, by the way. I told y'all my other one was shot to shit. So shout out to you guys for coming through and getting me another one. Now y'all just need to give me a phone. But nonetheless, and this shit long as fuck. Look at this bitch. Look at this bitch. This bitch long. I ain't gonna show y'all this bitch. Man, this shit long. Most of Biden's cabinets are not Christian, shall we say? Whose fault is that? That's what I'm saying. You can't play the blame game without pointing at yourself. Whose fault was that? Or without pointing at your father, your forefathers. Who did that? You know? Shit, it ain't like niggas really invaded. Nah, it was deals that were struck that your fathers made. If you're European. Your father did to Israel. Your father, the Jews didn't do that. The Zionists didn't do that. They wanted to move down there to out there in Peru. Put the Jewish state in Peru. Another somebody else wanted to put it in India. Yeah, Rothschild, he wasn't even looking in the Middle East. You know who did that? The British. Because the British had the British colony was called Palestine Mandatory. The British owned Palestine. So they decided to give the Zionists that land that they owned. That was your people did. You can't, without pointing it, you be like, deals were made. You know? Shit, it is what it is. They had to, I like you. How are you comfy in here? Yeah, buy y'all fake fair read. I saw it was just raining on my day off. I got 8 more questions. That kid is real aggressive. Probably taking someone's lunch money. The Romans called it Palestine Syriana way back before the British. Well, the scriptures called it the land of Canaan. Matter of fact, you hear people talking about, this is why I say you can't blame niggas. Like niggas can't even blame niggas because you hit. Okay, you go to the book of Genesis, chapter 9, read from verse 22 to verse 29. That talks about the curse of Ham. Ham basically seen his father's nakedness. You know, Noah was on one, you know, he had too much lean. He went to bed, he laid uncovered, and Ham walked in, was like, hey, yo, dad, they out here tripping. Oh, shit, his dick is out. He went and got his brothers, was like, yo, Pop's in there tripping, son. He went and got Shem and Japheth. He was like, yo, Pop's in there tripping. So they walked in there, they faked her like that. You know, Ham already seen they had a dick out. He was like, oh, shit. He came in there, Japheth came in there, bit was like that. So Noah woke up and he knew what Ham had did, and it doesn't say he cursed Ham. Y'all not reading. Who did he curse? His Ham's son Canaan. Go Google the land. Google the land that belonged to the Canaanites. This was a part of Africa. Ham's descendants populated Africa. The land of Canaan was a part of Africa. If you look at some people say Ham. I just say Ham. If you look at the land of Canaan today, it's called Israel. It's called Israel, Jordan, Syria. That used to be called they used to be the Canaanite people that lived there, the descendants of Canaan, who was a descendant of Ham. And you go pull out your Bible, go to Genesis 9:22 and read. Tell me if I'm fucking lying. I'm telling y'all some real shit. So these were niggas. The Canaanites were niggas. Then you read another one of Ham's descendants was Cush. Basically the whole Africa. Ham's descendants populated the whole fucking Africa. So when people say his descendants were cursed, and keep in mind too, Ezekiel 18, 19, and 20 tells you that the sins of the father won't befall the children no more. Also in Exodus too, even though in Exodus it says sins of the father will go down to the children to the third and fourth generation. But if you read Ezekiel 18, 19, and 20, the tone starts to change. It's like you won't have to, judging righteous judgment, the child would not have to pay for the sins of the father, so the curse would not have taken effect. So according to the Mormons, niggas would have turned back white because they believe the curse of Ham was God gave him black skin and gave his descendants black skin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got that right. Ezekiel 18, 19, and 20. I don't wanna come off like I'm browbeating people with the Bible though. I don't even want to talk about this shit no more. But before the Israelites got there, this shit was called Philistia. So you had different people taking it over. The curse would be that Ham's descendant Canaan would be a servant of servants to his brothers, the descendants of Shem and Japheth. Right fucking there. So the land that used to belong to the Canaanites, the Philistines came in, took it in. You call them Palestinians today. They came in and took over the land. They weren't even the original people. They're Shemitic people. And then the Israelites came in and started going to war with the Philistines. Ooh, you know how that shit turned out. But before that, it belonged to the Canaanites. And the Canaanites, they intermixed with the Jews, literally. If you go to the book of Genesis chapter 38 and read verse 1, it tells you that Judah, who was an actual person, went south from his brothers and took from him a wife, a Canaanite wife. And Judah's sons took Canaanite wives. So right then, the Hamitic people and Shemitic people immediately mixed. And from that line, you have the Messiah, who you could say was part nigga, but I don't want to get into that. But we do know Ham's descendants was niggas. Here you go, read the book of Genesis chapter 10, verse 6. You can see that Ham had sons, Mizraim, which is Egypt, Put, Libya, and the areas going into West Africa. And then you had Cush, which was basically everything fucking south. People talk about the Cushitic Empire like it was just Saddam. That whole area used to belong to that one tribe that descended from Ethiopia all on down to the southern tip. But nonetheless, Canaan got the land that's now called Israel, pretty much, and Palestine. But Cush begat Nimrod. So Nimrod is Ham's grandson. Nimrod went and oppressed the Shemitic people when he took over the tribe that was living in what's now modern day Iran, and he started the city called Babylon. A nigga did that. Ham's grandson. He's also called a mighty hunter, but certain Kabbalistic traditions and readings and literature, they'll liken Nimrod to Tammuz and link him to other, it's extra biblical material that links Nimrod to other figures, saying he was the first God king on earth. Nonetheless, that was a Nubian nigga that oppressed them Shemitic people and had a whole bunch of slaves. So this shit just goes around. Now you look at what's going on today, and you just like, yo, shit. Just empires taking over empires. And then you got, so it's like you really can't point the finger and just be like, yo, they, because it was your forefather, your greats. Yo, they did the shit to everybody did the shit. It just, how far do you want to go back in history and look at who did what to who? I don't blame nobody. That's why I'm telling y'all about Andrew Carnegie. He was a Scot. He was from Scotland. I'm not trying to sympathize with these people, but if you in their same situation, you can understand where the fuck they coming from. Everything don't always got to be murder, death, kill for the opposition. Sometimes you got to understand people before you can begin on working on a way to fight people. Sometimes. That's all I'm saying. And that one DuPont nigga, he did have an amazing garden. I'm not gonna lie to you. That nigga, he was gay as fuck too. Ain't no way to tell me he was gay. He named the hospital after his driver. He didn't marry till he was 40, and when he did get married, he married his cousin. But the family felt like, yo, he was gay. Like he was doing something with his driver, because when his driver died, he named the hospital after the nigga. He built a hospital in that nigga's memory. And then named the shit name right there in fucking Delaware. Right there, his fucking driver, right fucking there. Didn't have no fucking kids, married his cousin. I'm like, yo, how come there's not a movie on this shit? I'm gonna make movies. So I just look at certain shit. BG, have you ridden the Honda Odyssey? No. One of the apocryphal books said that Nimrod was killed by Esau. I can't confirm or deny that. I don't know. I do know when it comes to the apocrypha concerning the book of Enoch specifically, a lot of people are interested in it because it talks about the Nephilim and a whole bunch of things that really grab at people's hearts. But I'm going to have to side with the Catholic Church on this one, deciding to keep that out, because the book of Enoch implies that Enoch himself was the Messiah when Enoch was translated to the heavens, and it contradicts what's read in the book of Hebrews chapter 11 about Enoch being translated that he would not see death. But he still died nonetheless, and he's in the ground buried, awaiting the promises, not in heaven. Also, the book of Enoch was not written by Enoch. It is an old book. The original language of the book of Enoch is in an Ethiopic language called Ge'ez. And to be blatantly honest, has no business in canon. But that's just my, I don't know shit. I don't know, what do I know? What the fuck do I know? But it sound good, hell yeah. Extra biblical material, they talking about, yeah, all this shit, woo, 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 getting this shit cracking, hell yeah. Shout out to the book of Enoch. Shout out to the Apocrypha. Enoch didn't write that shit down. He was a good kid, so God took him back early. No, he died. He was translated that he would not see the death in that day based on what people were doing. Not that he wouldn't die. He died. You could read it. He died. Somebody go read Hebrews 11 right now. Read. Abraham, King David, all of them are waiting the promises. They're not in heaven. They're not. They're not floating around. They're not saints. They're dead. It's a sleep-like state. They have not received the promises yet. According to Hebrews 11. I don't know. What do I know? I don't fucking know anything. All I know is the DuPonts were kind of cool, aside from poisoning that one kid and got his head looking like a melted M&M. The Book of Enoch was not the only book removed by the Council of Nicaea. Well, a lot of people say removed. It was never a part of it to be removed. That shit was always on the table. I mean, when they found the shit doesn't date back all the way to Enoch's day. It was written. It's an old script nonetheless, but it's a pseudo. I forget what they call it, but it wasn't written by Enoch himself. Just the sheer amount of contradictions within it, shit, wow, people already complain about the Bible contradicting itself. So I can understand the decision to leave the shit out. Like, yo, we not gonna complicate the shit. We not gonna introduce more fucking. But the shit was never really a part of canon. It was never. It was written in the Ethiopic language. It was never a part of the Septuagint, which was the Hebrew Bible translated by 70 Greek elders. It was always extra biblical material. A lot of the letters, it was on the table. Like, you got different denominations, they'll accept and reject certain Bibles based on, you know. And like the Book of Mormon, they add books. The Seventh-day Adventists, they have, you know, some books you're not gonna find in the Catholic Bible. It's interesting how that happened, but I do know that the Book of Enoch was never a part of the Bible. The Catholic Church did not take that shit out the Bible. It was never a part of the Bible. The shit sound good. This is an unpopular opinion. I know how much truthers love the Book of Enoch. I do. I get it. But this is just true. It wasn't written by Enoch. It wasn't. And in the Book of Enoch, he claims he is the Messiah. That person. That shit was. Yeah. I'm just saying. Keep in mind too, its original language was the Ethiopic language, Ge'ez, or however you pronounce it. So it's not like it was written, they found it was in Greek, Hebrew. Some people say the shit was found with the Dead Sea Scrolls. That's not true neither. But they gonna tell you that shit though. I'm just telling y'all some real G shit. Comfy, did you watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I'm about to get this shipment of mulch. I got one more question. Hell yeah, I'm about to just become Catholic so I can go to war with them Orthodox niggas, Andrew Crucible, Jib Bob, and Posh Redneck. I can't just show the fuck up as is, because if niggas don't take me, you gotta be a part of something. It's like a club, you gotta be a part of something for niggas really to take you seriously. So I can't just be on some woo-woo shit. You gotta be on some woo-woo shit. Hey, yeah, this the set. Yeah, this the original set right here, nigga, right here. Nigga, original Catholic Crip. Was cracking. I'm joking, of course. I'm joking harder, I'm joking. The Jury Duty show is very funny. I still haven't watched it. I know Old Darn is gonna get. My wife hasn't watched it neither. Old Darn really wants me to watch that though. I'm gonna check it out. Now y'all know when people bring up Uranus, you can kind of be like, yo, interesting you bring up Uranus because his name was really Uranus. And he was wild. That nigga was wildin', son. He had kids, he had kids with the giant, and the kids were so ugly, he tried to push the kids back up in the pussy. So next time you hear somebody talking about Uranus, you can add that in. You be like, yo, did you know Uranus had kids that were so ugly, he tried to push them back up in his giant pussy? Like, yeah, they were butterball ugly. Shit wasn't no joke. Yeah, Gaia. That was his mom too. He had kids with his mom. Yeah, they were ugly. He had other kids though. They weren't ugly. Yeah, but he locked these ugly ones up in Tartaros. Yeah, Kronos cut his dick off though. Yeah, that Kronos was his youngest son. Yeah, Uranus' youngest son cut his dick off. And he threw his testicles in the water. And then his testicles were so fertile, the shit started foaming up, and from the foam came Aphrodite. She wasn't really a daughter of Zeus. That's where she came from. You be like, yo, that shit, they were like, yo, we on some nasty shit though. You be like, yeah, I know, but Uranus, right? Shit crazy. All them shit's named after gods. What's the best day to be Catholic? Easter or Halloween? Halloween, that's All Saints Day. They had to compromise. I believe that was Samhain was an original Celtic holiday. Where the dead, it was a day where they believed the dead walked the earth at that night. So they wanted to blend in, and they wore masks so they wouldn't be bothered by the dead and the ghoul and all that other weird. I think it's an old Celtic religion. They had to, certain compromises were made. Whatever the case may be, woo. And they was like, all right, it's going to be All Saints. That's why November 1st, that's All Saints Day. That's why Halloween is Halloween. Halloween is short for Hallowed Evening, a.k.a. Holy Night. It's a Catholic holiday. I'm Catholic now. Fuck I mean. Yeah, you can't G-check me on shit. We finna go to war with them Orthodox niggas because they want to break away first the Oriental Orthodox Church. Back in like 300 to 500, whatever the fuck they broke away after the first 3 councils. The first 3 ecumenical councils. Then the Council of Ephesus, they was like, we cool with it. Then the second one came back. Then the Chalcedonian John, they was like, nah, we ain't fucking with it. So they broke off. They went over there. Yeah, they went over there. And then later on, we count them, the Oriental Orthodox, as the first Protestants. And then you already know in like 1051, that's when them other special niggas broke off. The fucking Eastern Orthodox, like the Jim Bob and all them niggas. Them posh redneck and them niggas. Yeah, they want to break away and try to work Orthodox. Want to be different and shit. Like... we the mother church though. And then of course you already know, like the 1500 Martin Luther and all them weird niggas, them fucking bastard ass children. If you had it came forth from the nigga, then you got the Anabaptists running the fuck around. People think they're super moral now because they don't use technology and shit. They're bastards too, fucking Amish. Bunch of fucking bastards. They're hyper bastards. We were hunting them niggas down back in Europe. Yeah, we was, them Amish niggas. That's why we told America, the British kingdom, they broke away, they became Protestant. We still had the Catholic, they were, Spain was Catholic, the Scots, Ireland Catholic, the UK want to be, the British want to be special niggas and cause trouble in the region. And then try to destabilize Ireland by dropping Protestants off. And had y'all thinking it was really Protestants versus Catholic, but really it was the principle. That's like 2 niggas getting into a fight over a honey bun. You could be like, yo, y'all fighting over a honey bun. You're like, nah, it's not the fucking honey bun, it's the fucking principle. Them fucking British people, they been on one. Then the Protestants had the Queen Mary Scots assassinated. And that's the only reason why the British really came out here, because they seen The Catholics was out here getting shit cracking. The Spaniards were down south doing their thing, colonizing and whatnot. And the Brits was like, shit, we gotta get in on this shit. We can't let the whole world just become Catholic. So they brought their bow-legged ass out here, set up shop right there, James River, Virginia. Then all the weird religions started happening out here. Because they're Protestants, and what else is going to happen? Sola Scriptura, all that bullshit. They started reading shit that wasn't there into the Bible. You know. Fucking Joseph Smith was 14. He was talking about, oh, and this really mean this. Talking about he was visited by an angel named Moroni. What the fuck? You know, only in a Protestant nation. Then you got the Seventh-day Adventist bitch, the bitch Helen, who was a part of the Millerites. She was just like, oh, God was in error, and then ooh, woo, woo, woo. Yeah, I've been Catholic. Yeah, it's Ellen. What I say, Helen? Yeah, it's Ellen. I can't remember her last name, but Ellen. They got her picture. She was hit upside the head when she was a child too. It probably where she said she started getting visions from. They said when she was a child, she took a hit upside the head and ain't been right ever since. But people follow her. She's a prophet. Only in a Protestant nation. I thought the Mormons believed her crap came from a space alien. Don't they? Nah, Moroni wasn't a space. He was an actual person that lived and died and came back as an angel. Like it was a few, like the Jaredites, they came, it's weird. But it's not aliens, but yeah, when they die, they inherit. Well, originally, based on how many wives you have, if you have more than 3 wives, you could reach the celestial heights in the heavens, and there you become your own god. Now they get around it. It's crazy because in Utah, like they ban, they pretty much ban multiple marriage, plural marriage. And that's when that prophet decided to have a vision. It was perfect timing too. The perfect timing for the prophet to have a divine vision from the Most High saying, we will no longer do multiple wives. Around the same time, the state, the government was getting rid of those laws. And it was like, all right. I think they caved, but nonetheless, they stopped doing the multiple marriage thing in the late 1800s. The fundamentalists, they still do the shit though. But the mainstream Mormons, they still believe you go to that temple, get married, you get sealed. You'll have your wives in heaven. You can create planets. When you reach the celestial height, the shit get real weird. It's still weird. Yeah, Ellen G. White. Ellen G. White, man, she was... Her and Kellogg. Them niggas was tripping, boy. I tell you what. I tell you what. I got one more question. I'm deleting this stream, too. Some Hebrew Israelites still believe in polygamy just because the patriarchs had multiple wives. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Not biblically speaking, anyway. It ain't like I want to go out and have a bunch of wives. Well, I do for comedic purposes. I need 5 and 5. 5 white, 5 black. But yeah, I mean, the New Testament, you're gonna read. It said, I think, who said that? Paul? And the New Testament said a deacon should be the husband of 1 wife. That's pretty much very specific. But then it has a specific job, like the bishop, husband of one wife or some shit like that, without blame or some shit. Then you're told in the Old Testament too not to multiply wives to yourself, but then you can see why. That's around the time Solomon was doing the shit and he started worshiping, you know, the gods of his wives, you know, so. Don't delete. No, I'm deleting this. I'm deleting this. Me, yeah. Who said that? Nasty Nation, me and my Catholic bros, we at y'all top. We at y'all top. Oh yeah, this a throwaway joint. I got one more question. Go to the Mormon church, all the girls are like loud, ready to marry off. They young too, they young with it. That shit was in, they developed a culture within a culture though. Like they be 13, the father's already, you know. It's just in the fundamentalists set, some of them, the prophet chooses who your daughter marries and when. Like the father and the mother have no say so. It's just when the prophet read it, the bishop, that's the bishop. When the prophet read it, he pointed you like your daughter, how old is she? 13. You like, she'll be married to him. It don't matter if they met before, it'd be like she gonna marry this boy. And the parents are like, okay, sure, yeah. Yeah. And then they go and get sealed. DeSantis is deep state plant. DeSantis ain't deep state wall kisser. That nigga French kissing that wall right now. That's why I'm voting for either Barack Obama or Donald Trump.
Definitely not voting for talks like that.
He's definitely not getting my vote. Barack Obama, hell yeah! If Barack Obama come back and he like, I'm gonna drop the whole universal health care thing, the whole Obamacare thing of the past. It's no more. Yeah, he got my vote. I vote for Obama anyway just to make my impression of him relevant again. The Wailing Wall isn't even part of the Second Temple. It's Roman fortification. Well, more accurately, it's the Western Wall, but nonetheless, you know, that shit is a holy wall. It's still a holy wall. It's holy as a bitch. You can't tell the folk that they wall not holy. Everybody done went there and kissed it. You tell them it ain't holy now, they're gonna be like, well, what the fuck did I just kiss? You gonna upset the apple cart. Kick that wall. Two more questions. As long as it's not Biden Harris again, y'all love Biden, man. Come on. Every time he falls, y'all just can't get enough of it. My personal favorite is when he got bit on the ankle by his Welsh Corgi. And when he fell off the bike. His dismount was horrible. He fell off the bike. Oh, sometimes you just roll your ankle for no reason though. This shit was just, his son even had a time like, the whole Hennessy price thing. I mean, it's comedy. It's hilarious. It's not even to be taken serious. You better vote for Michael Obama. Nah, fuck her. Hell no. Ain't no way I'll vote for Michelle Obama. You know what? I probably would. I might, hell yeah, I'd vote for Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama looked like she throw a mean fish fry. I ain't even gonna hold you. She be in that bit, and DC right there. She be at the Taste of DC with that shit. She like, we used to go to JJ's Fish Shack out there in DC, and they give you 2 pieces of fried whiting, deep fried whiting, and it'd be on Wonder Bread, and the fish would hang over the Wonder Bread. It'd be like it's not even a point in even putting the bread here. Maybe a hoagie roll would have been better. Maybe a hot dog bun would have been better. Anything but Wonder Bread, cause this shit not matching. But that was our shit. You get a fish dinner from JJ's Fish Shack for $5.99. You get 2 pieces of deep fried whiting. You get that coleslaw and that mac and cheese. Good times. Maybe not good eating, but good times. Good memories. Shout out to the Taste of DC. I used to ball up Wonder Bread as a kid and eat it plain. Well, that's how y'all do sticky rice. Little old man. Y'all ball the shit out. You seen Thai people eat sticky rice? They clutch that shit. They clutch that shit like they try and pack grease. That's what the shit look like. They packing grease in a barren. They just clutching that shit, balling that bitch up. And then they dip it. That's what they do. $88 people in here. Hail Hitler. All right, I got one more question. What's your question, Jessica Sheep? BG FaceTime and hang me again. Eating with chopsticks is hard, at least for a cracker like me. Jared is a bear. That's a slur on these internet streets. Calling someone a bear online is a internet street slur at this point. All right, I'm out. Stay free, barricade. Hell yeah. Look at this tomato. Look at my tomato. Hey, love, can you get the tomatoes? Man, fuck that tomato, nigga. Where's your tractor? What skid steer attachments do you have? Where's your Harley rake? Look at the tomato. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing but bomb on the soil and tell me my soil dry as fuck. I got some mulch coming now. I got 2 yards coming, and that should be enough for this. Yeah, I gotta show y'all this every now and then so y'all can feel broke. So I can tell y'all get like me. Yeah, yeah, yes. Yeah, get like me. Live like me. You suck if you're not doing this. Alright? Send me money too. This shit is expensive. That one giant right there look like it's dying. That shit look thirsty as a bitch. Don't worry, I got some mulch coming for you guys. Yes, I do. I got a little bit of mulch. That's a little baby tomato. That's a baby tomato already on there. There's a little baby tomato. Look at this tomato. Seriously this time though. Look at the tomato. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Feel bad because you don't have this. Alright? That's what I want from you people. Yes. Acknowledge me as being morally superior to you because you don't have this and I do. Give me money so I can continue living like this even when you can't. Alright? Look at my fucking watermelons. Look at them. This shit look dried out, but it's doing okay though. It's doing real well. Just aesthetically, it could look better. You know, my soil isn't as dark as some people would like it, but yeah, send me money so I can live the way you dream of living. Sure. I get a fucking campground for you niggas. What you niggas want? A fucking campground? Y'all some cheap bitches. I get you a campground. Fuck it. What you want? 10, 20 acres? Just send me the fucking money. Don't do this shit amongst yourselves. It gotta come through me. Yeah. Yeah, you can't get a campground for yourself just organized locally between people that think like you. This shit gotta come through me. Send me the fucking money and let me worry about getting the campground. Let me buy the property. Don't waste your time buying property. Let me do it for you. I do this so you don't have to do it. It's private shit too. So you can't just show the fuck up whenever you feel like it. Just give me the money though. All you broke bitches out there. Give me that fucking money. Hell yeah, I'm crushing. You ain't see. Did the other, y'all want to see the baby watermelon? This the secondary, this the auxiliary watermelon patch. Pretty much all of them came up except for 1, 2, and 3. Look at my wood wall. You don't have a wood wall. I'm morally superior to you because you don't have a wood wall. You should send me money so I can keep being morally superior than you. Yeah. Shit. Look at my blueberry bush. Y'all blueberry bush died. I'm morally superior to you. All right, Faith, you can lock up. Y'all need to send me more money. Because I need to extend my watermelon patches. Your mulberry bush died? Oh my God, Faith. I am morally superior. My mulberry bush is still alive. Matter of fact, let's go get some mulberry. Let's go over here and get some the little baby mulberry. That's a baby mulberry. That's a baby. That's a baby mulberry. Where are you? Are you up here? Are you up here? Where are you? Oh, because Faith mulberries died. I just want a mulberry. All the mulberries right there. Look at them. This the black mulberry tree. You can see the fruit right there. Boom, 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 boom. And all right there. They don't grow in clusters, that's for sure. Look at them. Look at them all. Look at that. Shit look like a Jolly Rancher. Yeah, it look like a Jolly Rancher just chilling right there. Look at that. I got another one right there. I got a white mulberry tree right there. Gotta be careful with those black mulberries. Ha! Joke's on you. You gotta be careful with the white ones. The white ones will kill you. All right, Faith. Now that you know I'm morally superior to you, you can go ahead and lock up. Your mulberries died and mine didn't. I'm better than you and everybody else here. What's your question? What Jessica, what do you I'm looking back in his I don't see your question. I'm scrolling, I don't see a question from you. Jessica, what is your question? Moral supremacist. Exactly. This is why comedians like Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn, this is why they aren't funny. Because they don't have mulberry trees. Jessica show feet. All right, I'm out. I'm out.